In every generation, there are some who rise above the challenges, who rise above the ordinary and touch the lives of many, leaving an indelible mark not only on society, but the world over. One such person is Mr. Wesley Barrow. Reserved, disciplined, some would say tough, rigid, and a sincere trust in Almighty God brought Mr. Wesley Barrow over 60 years in the business of bodybuilding, from training to operating a gym. We look back through the eyes of this icon whose name would be forever etched in the annals of the sport of bodybuilding.
Wesley Barrow, I would say, is a person devoted to keeping himself in the best possible condition, as well as helping others to do the same. In the area of athletics, I won several gold medals in the region. I held the national shot put champion for a number of years here, which I think still stands. I set a West Indies record in Barbados in 1965. In terms of bodybuilding, I served the Bodybuilding Association for over 20 years. And I've assisted people like James Daly and Gene Roy Harrigan, and a number of others over the years. I think my main influence came from Walter Etinoff, who owned the Saxon Gym, of which I became a member. I first started training at Devon Walter's Gym on Tanner Street, and about a year later I joined the Saxon Gym, where Walter Etinoff, to me, one of the most versatile physical culturists Antigua has seen, if not the most versatile.
Mr. B, as he is fondly called, describes some of the people who he has influenced.
I guess there are people who influence whom I don't even know. People who are devoted to training. I think one name I can think of is Samuel Byam, former Mr. Antigua. I think he was influenced to a great extent. James Daly, deceased. Clarence Crump. I think there are quite a number of people.
Mr. Barrows, truly, to me, it's been nothing but a plus for me from the first time I met him. You know, it's been 6 years now that he's been training me, and I must say he's truly a man of character. Him and I, we have grown together, you know, as the owner of National Fitness and myself as a bodybuilder. But as I said, he's nothing but a plus for me. You know, I look for him for encouragement. I look for him for advice in the sport, and not just the sport, but in life in general. And I can't say enough for Mr. Barrow. You know, if it wasn't for Mr. Barrow, I wouldn't be where I am. You understand? And I must say, and I see other athletes also, you know, using, you know, leaning on him and allowing him to be an asset to their life and to the sport that they so love as myself.
I first met Mr. Barrow in 1992 when I returned to Antigua from Canada, and someone introduced me to the gym and to Mr. Barrow. And throughout the years, Mr. Barrow kept asking me, you have a good physique, you know. I think you should compete. I says, not me. You know, but Mr. Barrow kept pressing, and I remember in 2000 when they had the bodybuilding show and I saw the girls competing, I said, Mr. Barrow, I can beat them, you know. He said, I know you can, you're ready? And that started the friendship. Mr. Barrow was not only my coach or trainer, Mr. Barrow was my mentor. What I like about Mr. Barrow, he's a very strict man, very disciplined, but he has his heart in the right place. And for me, he started on the foundation. He built me up to what I am today in terms of a bodybuilder representing Antigua and Barbuda. He's not just my coach or mentor, he's like a father figure to me. He's always there for me when I need him. So for me, Mr. Barrow is 1 in a million, and it's a reward most fitting to a man who has served not just Antigua, but the athletes here in Antigua and Barbuda.
Mr. Barrow is the main reason I'm a bodybuilder today. He was the person responsible for giving me even my first workout in the gym. He has inspired me to push me, always believe that I could be better, and that was my motivation to go forward and to make him proud me personally as a bodybuilder. My journey has not even ended yet. I'm still working towards being the first male pro Antigua that will qualify from CAC. And Mr. Barrow is still there helping me along the way.
I've put so much into it. I've virtually dedicated my life to this area of development. I've sacrificed a lot. I'm still doing quite a lot to help in the area of bodybuilding. Although I think by year end, my plan is to retire. Many people don't want to hear it, but I've actually mentioned it to a few people.
And Mr. Barrow thinks more can be done for the sport.
I would like to see a greater dedication on the part of bodybuilding. To me, bodybuilding is slipping in terms of participation. The numbers are falling. They are falling, and some of it may be as a result of not being able to afford the lifestyle. But I think that people can make sacrifices, and in so doing can achieve. And in the long run, who knows? I mean, the sky's the limit. Once you achieve, who knows where you can end. I'd like to see an Antiguan qualify for the Mr. Olympia, the top contest in the world, and even placing in the top 6. I think it's quite possible. I see quite a bit of talent around, and the young people growing up who also have potential, and once they're willing to put the work in and make the necessary sacrifices, they can achieve. Be prepared to work hard, be prepared to sacrifice things, certain lifestyles. I mean, your friends may want to influence you to do certain things, but if you want to achieve, you've got to stay away from doing some of the things that your friends would do. You have to be a person who holds your own, who keeps your mind in place at all times. I mean, we had an athlete who left here in 1956 in the name of Paul Winter, Paddy Winter, most people may know him as. And a few months after he left Antigua, he won his height division in the Mr. Universe, and he went on to win Mr. Universe.
An inquisitive question was asked. Who was his favorite bodybuilder of all time? And his reply was...
For me, Sergio Olivier. Actually named one of my sons Sergio as a result. I think he had the greatest potential of anybody. Okay, there are people who would beat him now because time has evolved and requirements change. But in terms of balance and a sheer beauty of a body, I would say Sergio Olivier.
To the fans of bodybuilding, Mr. B had this to say.
Continue to support the sport. The sport needs your continued support. I'm sure that your support has been appreciated over the years, and it seems to be getting better as interest in physical fitness continues to grow. there seems to be a growing interest in seeing competitors on stage. They've also introduced other categories now which seem to have made it more interesting, like the bikini and the figure in the women's, you know. Spectator support is always important.